hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip
Bars is back.
hip hop,
Sam
hip
and
hop,
oh God,
hop.
what's
Hip
up with you?
Yes.
Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive. Go gang.
Somebody who maybe didn't evolve and learn was Monique.
Damn,
Man.
love
It looked
Monique.
real good for her. Definitely love her. Looked real good for her last night. Looked like she aired out DL Hughley. But just up until like a few minutes ago, DL Hughley started flooding the internet with receipts that showed that he was indeed, if the paperwork is correct, it looks real to me, right? Telling the truth about the whole headlining situation. It was interesting to me for what DL said yesterday. He kind of talked about, he posted that picture up of Monique, and he talked about, say it's always everybody else's fault. It's Netflix's fault. It's Tyler Perry's fault. Charlamagne's fault. It's all these people's fault. It's never your fault. And that to me, that was kind of a checkmate. And I gotta go out, as much as I love Monique, and this maybe she don't come on, she hears this, maybe she does. I think she played herself in this situation. It looks like she played herself, Sam, man. How do you take it?
Obviously we reported it on our various platforms doing our thing throughout the weekend, right? And we know how we feel about Monique, and we know how we feel about DL.
Yeah, DL, I don't like him.
You know what
honestly.
I mean? But we got to strip ourselves of that bullshit and call it right down the middle, right?
Yeah.
So when we hear Monique going in, and we kind of get an idea, and then DL drops his tweet, it's like, all right, are you kind of painting this woman as being problematic? She just got back into the game. She was being blackballed for all this shit, and then you pull this shit. Are you trying to just do what some of these gatekeeping brothers do? Monique, show them the goddamn receipts. Can't wait. And then DL got the receipts. And then you got to sit back and go, goddamn now. But while you were saying, I went on Monique's IG just to make sure she didn't have anything to rebuttal what we're talking about in this silence.
Woo!
And I was expecting to see the receipts from her so that we can come in and go in more. DL came in through the receipts. So it's like, all right, we got to sit back as much as we don't want to. I know I do, and eat some fucking crow right now, because I thought Monique would have all the receipts. And now as it stands right now at 5:46 on this Monday, it looks like DL has all the receipts, and it looks like he got exactly what he was supposed to get, and Monique is talking kind of crazy. I hope that's not the case, but according to what we see right here,
it has to be something.
Man.
I'm kind of holding out like it has to be something maybe
Right.
a little deeper. The way she kind of tried to paint the picture was like that. He wanted the headline. If he wasn't able to headline, then he didn't want to do it. That's the way she painted the whole picture. But from what his paperwork shows, he was always supposed to be the headline. And she came up there and said, "Oh, I headline Kings of Comedy. You open, whatever the case may be."
Yeah.
So, is Monique capping? Is she lying? Is she salty? What's going on here? It has to be a little bit deeper, Sam. Man, it has to be.
It has to be. And you know what? And I was naive all the way to the 25th hour. I seen dudes posing in front of flyers. I don't know if you saw that, with DL real big and Monique kind of sitting in the back as DL's the headliner. I'm like, all right, whatever. That's the promoter. Let me see the contract. And then we see ticket stubs, and DL's name is in front of the ticket stub. Fuck that. Let me see the contract. And then he shows us the contract. So it's like, whoa.
Who's, in your opinion, you watch a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
Who would you expect to be a headline in that, honestly? If it was DL, Monique and two other comedians on there, no disrespect, we don't know who they are, right?
Yeah.
Who would you expect to be headlining if you were looking on the outside in?
Monique's a funnier comedian. DL's headlining that. Period.
Yeah.
And you know why?
Because he a man?
Yep. And that's
You don't think he's funnier?
No.
It's not because of his track record?
With safe track record and his friendly relationship with other people in high places, more than likely. Hell yeah. All the combination, he's not the headliner because he's funnier than Monique.
Right.
We're not hearing anything. We hear Monique going in live on stage. DL still performed. He could have said something. The MC right after that brought DL on the fucking stage. Why aren't we seeing clips of DL going in on Monique? Probably because that shit wasn't funny. But we seeing the receipts and we seeing all this other different stuff. He's headlining because he's a man.
Yeah.
He's one of the men in comedy. Was a king of comedy. Even though could have been, that's another subject for another day, who the lineup for the king of comedy and things like that. But
He's safe, like you said. I think
It's safe, bro.
He's safe. He's not going to say anything that's going to ruffle any feathers at this point in his career. He's, by all accounts, allegedly bought out by the Democratic Party. Allegedly. He sold, completely out to the white media. You know what I mean? That's his thing he goes to. He gives the exclusives to them. Yeah. He don't really deal with the black media like that. Not that I've seen. Maybe he does. I don't know, right? He he attacks anybody who stands up for anything remotely, black. He attacks them. This is what DL Hughley's track record has been over the last couple of years. So this is how I personally kind of look at him out of one eye. I ain't saying we got to totally throw him away. I think he's good as a comedian and things like that, but politics and things like that and talking on issues, you could throw this cat away.
And he's an intelligent brother, and that's what makes you think he's bought, because he's not dumb.
Right.
He can speak. He does some research. You can tell he knows what he's talking about, but it's very, very one-sided. So Democrats never do anything wrong, ever. Donald Trump was the fucking scum of the earth, but Joe Biden can't do anything wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? George Bush was the scum of the earth, but Barack Obama couldn't do anything wrong. Right. When all these motherfuckers are exactly the same. Yeah. So all we just wanted to see DL do is kind of call a spade. And every time he had the opportunity to stand up in this social media age and call a spade, he went the other way and makes us second guess him and look at him like he's crazy. But what do you think this does for Monique now? Because let's say everything sits how it sits, right? We see her, she's going into, I think 50 just picked her up for a new TV series.
Yeah.
Lee Daniels just pieced it back up, even though I think the pressure was put on him to do that. Mm-hmm. She seems like she's kind of getting out of that blackballing situation that she was seemingly in. If, in fact, this comes out that DL was telling the truth and Monique was capping on stage, what does this do for her?
I think I don't think it's going to hurt her that bad, but I think it's kind of going to further solidify the people who say she's an angry, loudmouth black woman. Damn. I think it's going to, not, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's going to further solidify that she's always complaining. She don't get her way. It's always the other person. I think that this is going to lead to for Monique. Now, 50 can't save you on this one. Mm-mm. Shout out to 50. He did his thing. He pulled her up from the muck and the mire, of the Hollywood abyss. But yeah, this is a situation where I think that I think it'll be temporary, but for the people who already were thinking about Monique a certain way, it's not going to help that. Now, if she was correct in her assessment about what happened, maybe, but since it looked like right now that it's not true, it's going to hurt her.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Are we looking at a situation where we got two veteran seasoned comics that just are very arrogant and don't want to give each other props? And then saying that, is it time for a new age of comedian to come out? Because when these cats were young, when they were hungry, when shit was funny, we didn't really hear about this kind of shit. It wasn't this petty. It wasn't I'm the headliner, or I'm this.
Yeah,
we just heard jokes, and the shit was dope, and then we seen TV series spawn from that. Is it time to get a new crop of comics in this game? Are we getting old and tired of the same old comics? We just talked about Cat Williams last week.
Yeah.
We see this shit going on. Is it time for a new era of comedians to come out and kind of shine?
Yeah, I think that with Monique, man, I don't think in her case, no. DL, okay, get rid of that motherfucker. But Monique, she was raw. There was a lot of cuss words, but it was raw, and that's what I want. Like, if anything, I want the new batch of comics to be like, the old Kevin Hart when he was hungry. Be like the Cat Williams when he was hungry and he was talking about Hollywood and stuff they was doing right there. This is what I want. I want that Monique, on the stage like she was going at DL talking about issues. Mm-hmm. It's when they start getting safe and all politically correct is why I'm like, man, get rid of these people, man. They paid for, and you're not funny anymore because you're scared. See, that's what it's about as a comedian. Like, it's no holds barred. I'm going to come in here and say whatever. I don't give a damn who's offended.
Yep.
Now you're worried about offending somebody. It's almost like going to play football and you're worried about getting hurt.
Yep.
You're going to get hurt. You got to go out there and play full speed. So that's how I feel about it.
The best comics do that. They'll go in there, you sit down, and you're going to hear about everything. You're going to hear about your culture, the culture you don't like, the culture you thinking about doing the same shit. They're going to bring that up.
Yep.
They're going to know how to tie in real issues and make that shit funny.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of it. That's why the Bernie Macs had us crying. That's why Cat Williams had us crying. That's why, in my opinion, I like Dave Chappelle. He has me crying. And some of the older comedians, because they'll take something real life and make that shit funny. You hit the nail on the head. The second you get safe, get up out of here.
It's over.
I'm hoping Cat's not there. Because
He's there, bro.
Played this shit so
He was there.
safe.
He went
man.
there. We got Cat went there.
It was funny, but it was safe.
Too safe. It was so much
Man.
stuff. How long is Cat? When was the last time you had a special or talk?
Years.
It's been years.
Years.
So it's like it's so much stuff that you missed that you got to talk about, bro. He played it safe, man, and love Cat Williams, love everything about him. But I think he got to a point where he got older. You know, he got beat up a lot in the media.
Yeah.
Probably lost a lot of money, a lot of opportunities, and he just said, you know what, fuck it. I can't, you know what I mean? This is for a young man. This is a young man's game, and my leg is old now.
Yeah.
I can't, dunk no more. I can't go deep 50 yards, you know what I mean, in 4.2 seconds no more. It's over.
I just really hope that the new age comics take from what the old school comics did and make it new, but make it fresh. Like, I don't want to see an Instagram dude running around, hopping around for 2.5 seconds and then get on stage and bomb. No, I want to see those comedians, like you just said, the Moniques, the Kevin Hart, the Cat Williams, going all the way to fuck in. Like, whoa, who is this dude? Who is this girl? And then, you know what I mean, kind of make themselves into superstardom. Because once they get to a certain demographic, once they get to a certain price point where they brand could get affected by what they say, it waters down the brand, man. It waters it down. And, I think comedy is in a real need of a reset, man, because we so caught up in the old, even like the reboots. We love watching old TV shows. TV shows we grew up on as kids, they trying to redo now.
But what about Tiffany? She's new, ain't she? I mean, new breed of comedian. No,
I love Tiffany Haddish. She ain't on
just
the level
hilarious.
I love Jess. You know what? I don't even know Jess hilarious enough to say I love her. I've never seen her stand up, even though I give her credit because she came to the Instagram age and she's still doing her thing.
Fatboy SSC. But go ahead.
Who?
Nah, go ahead.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about. Now, fuck it, we're gonna go here because I was thinking about him yesterday, right?
Right.
DC Young Fly, Shaggy, something like that.
Yeah.
Jess hilarious, Fatboy SSC. It was kind of like the freshman class of that comic Instagram joint, right? Two of them still doing their thing. And two of them you don't even hear about anymore.
That's true. I don't even see the Facebook skit. I mean, the Instagram skits from SSC no more.
You know what I'm saying? He turned into a rapper, then he's a daddy, then he was a daddy something else, and now he's vanished.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that shit. Give me that longevity, pause, that's going to make somebody stand out and stick around for a while, man. And I just hope we get some new comics to do it. Hopefully, it's some comics I'm hearing behind the scenes out in Jersey. We may have to go check out that are real.
Okay.
But the difference is there's a lot of people that are funny, but do you have that star power too?